Hello everyone. Okay, so today what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a quick demo on how I'm going to connect the fitness tracker with the nutrition tracker so that we can design a personalized workout using ChatGPT. And this is a proof of concept. The product is still under development. So most of the things that I'm using here are pretty much open source, pretty much raw. But this is just to demonstrate what's possible. Okay, so I'm going to show you some of the tools, devices, and apps that I'm using for this demo. The first one is the fitness tracker, which is called WOOP. So this is the fitness tracker that measures the sleep data, my recovery, as well as my um, strain information. So let me quickly open up their, so this is the product page. And so let me just quickly log in to show you how it looks like. So once I log in, I have a dashboard. And so basically they provide me a mobile application through which I can also visualize all these things. But then, so this is what it looks like. So there is a strain information. Strain is basically the amount my body has been strained based on the workout that I did yesterday, as well as any movements, any kind of exercise that I did so far for this day. Yesterday I did a very high intensity workout, and you can already see that my body. This is just afternoon today, and it's already almost half strain. And recovery again, how well my body is recovered for me to do the next round of workout. And you can see I'm still not fully recovered. It's only 46% recovery. And you can also see my sleep score, which is only 44%. I only slept like 4.5 hours, which is pretty bad. You can see based on this information, I don't think I should be doing any intense workout today because I still feel tired today. And OOP provides me API access to extract all this information. So I can go to my developer portal and I can show you. So I have already created a sample application just for the sake of this demo. And through this application, I should be able to call their APIs. For instance, using Postman, I can generate some access tokens and I should be able to call their service to extract some of this information. And then the next application I use, so this is for the fitness tracker. For the nutrition tracker, I use MyFitnessPal. I think this is quite famous app. I think most of us use this. So with this application, what I do is I log in the macros that I consume. So if I, for instance, I key in what I ate for my breakfast, what I ate for my lunch, pre-workout, post-workout, what did I eat for my dinner, and I also set a target goal, and I make sure that I either hit the goal or stay within the boundaries. So let me maybe open up that MyFitnessPal, already logged in. So let me go to the food section here. This is my daily calendar where I can add any of the information. I still haven't had my lunch yet. So this is just for the demo purpose, all right? And you can see at the bottom there is information about my total calories, my carbohydrate, and all those stuff. One thing that I had to tell you at this point is, as of now, I don't have an API access through which I can extract all this information. I'm sure MyFitnessPal has enterprise level of API access, but not for hobbyists like me. So in order for me to run this demo end to end, I got to do some hacking, right? So I'm going to use a robotic process automation to scrape some of this information just to demonstrate the capability, right? So we have seen the fitness tracker and the nutrition tracker. The next tool that I'm going to show you is an orchestration tool. So this is the master brain behind extracting information, sending the data from one source to another source, talking to ChatGPT. All these are done through Node-RED, and Node-RED is an open source tool, quite powerful. And later I will be showing you what I'm using this tool for and how I'm going to use this tool to generate the custom workouts. And all of these are running on my PC, right? And some of these tools could require special operating systems and stuff. So in order for me to make my life easier, I'm using Docker, and I'm running all of the services, the underlying services on Docker container. So which means if I have to run this on a cloud, I can still run, or if I want to run this on a Raspberry Pi or even on my Macintosh, I can just download this container and put it on those machines. Next tool is Grafana. This is just the representation layer, just to show what kind of data that we can extract and represent this on a dashboard to just see what we have. So you can see that in this screenshot, I have the data coming from WOOP, my heart rate variability, my recovery, my skin temperature, my average heart rate, and also on top you can see the information that I extracted from MyFitnessPal, both my everyday goal as well as my everyday intake, as well as the calories that is left, which I still haven't consumed. And then the next tool is, because I'm collecting all this information, I need to store them. So I'm using a time series database, which is called InfluxDB. This is just to store the data that is coming from WOOP as well as the MyFitnessPal. And then the last tool is OpenRPA. So this is the tool through which I'm going to emulate as if I'm logging in to MyFitnessPal, but all these are going to be automated, right? So the tool is going to run all this script for me, and it's going to click on certain buttons, and it's going to extract some of these values, and it's going to send those information back to Node-RED, and then send it to the database. Everything is going to be automated. Later I will show you. Okay, so now let me switch to my demo part. Okay, so the first bit I want to show you is Node-RED. So here what I have done is I have split this into 4 tabs. The first tab is basically talking about how I'm going to extract the data from MyFitnessPal using the OpenRPA tool. And then the second tab is extracting the information from WOOP. This is pretty straightforward because they have provided me API access. So I can just use a get method to extract the data from their service. And then the third one is just a calculation. This is to, once I have all the information, I'm going to just calculate and show you what's the balance calorie, what is the balance protein that's left. And then the last one is prompt engineering. So this is where the ChatGPT stuff happens. Once I have collected all the information from the 2 different platforms, I'm going to create a custom prompt that is specific to the user's characteristics. And then I'm going to ask ChatGPT to create a workout based on those parameters. And then I also created a HTTP request. So basically the response from ChatGPT will be stored as a JSON file. And I'm going to access that JSON file using a get method so that I can visualize that on my browser. So let me just go back to the first tab, and I'll show you how I'm going to extract the data from MyFitnessPal. So for this, like I mentioned before, there is no direct API access. So I'm going to use a tool called OpenRPA. So this is an open source tool. So what I'm going to, I'm not going to go through each and every single step on this, but at a high level, what this tool is doing is it is going to do all the sequence of operations that I will do manually, but using RPA. So it's going to log in. It's going to first navigate to the URL of MyFitnessPal, and then it's going to use my username and password to log in. It's going to hit the submit button on the login page, and once the login happens, it's going to visit my food diary section, and from there it is going to extract all the information like my calories, my carbohydrate, my fats, my protein, my sodium, my sugar, all those information it's going to extract, and it is going to pass that information back to the Node-RED, which is here, right? So the first block, the cyan block that you see here is actually the robot, which I showed you here. So this is a robot, right? So it can either be triggered using Node-RED, or it can be triggered directly from OpenRPA. So once the trigger happens, it's going to log in and scrape the information. Once the data is scraped, it is going to pass this green block you see here. This is where the passing of information happens. So the scraped information is going to be passed on to my Node-RED, and I'm formatting the data in a more structured way, and then I'm saving that information into my InfluxDB. So you can see here in InfluxDB, I have already created a bucket called health data, and within that I'm storing that information into a measurement called nutrition data MyFitnessPal. Okay, so let's see. I'm going to minimize. I don't have to deploy this. So let's see. Let me bring the OpenRPA. So I'm going to run this from this tool here. So the moment I click play, watch closely, everything is going to be automated. So you can see once I hit play, the first step is it's navigating to the MyFitnessPal website. It used my username and password to log in, and it's navigating to the food diary section. And from there, it's going to go to my report section, from where it's going to collect all the information, right? And once it is done, I think it's already done. So let's go back to Node-RED and see the output. You see the output. So the information is successfully collected. You can see I now have my calorie, my carbohydrate, sodium, all those information. And this is not in proper format. I think the formatting takes place at the below note here. This is more in a presentable JSON format. So if I go back to my Grafana, I should be able to see some information. Okay, so in Grafana, you can actually see that everything else is empty here. So the my intake is what we scraped just now, 320, 60, 18, and 2. So you can see 320, 18, 2, 60, right? So this is what we scraped just now. And the calories, left, protein, all these I haven't triggered. So let me go back to Node-RED and I'll just trigger that. Once this trigger happens, what happens is Node-RED is going to calculate all this information. And if I come here and refresh the page, it should give me all the other information. What is my total goal for the day, and the macros that I still have pending to be consumed. As you can see, the OOP data is still not extracted. So let me go back to Node-RED, and then so as you can see, there are two sections here. So this is where I'm using the get method to basically access the developer portal, and I'm using the authentication method. So let me clear this screen. And once I trigger, I should be able to extract the information from OOP as well. You can see that I have both the recovery and the sleep data. So the first one, the first one here is the recovery information. You can see the recovery was updated. When was it updated? What's my recovery score? And all those information. And then the next one is about my sleep, my resting heart rate, what was my SpO2 reading, what was my skin temperature. Yeah. So now if we go back to Grafana and refresh, you should be able to see the information that we gathered from OOP as well. Okay, so now we have collected and stored the information from both of these platforms, let's go back to Node-RED and see how we can do the prompt engineering. Right. So before that, I want to show you something. Right. So within Node-RED, I also created something called a global variable. So each time I collect the information from either MyFitnessPal or Whoop, I'm storing all those information as a global variable, which means I can reference to any of these variables from any of the functions. So you will understand now. So what I'm doing is I'm going to write a simple plain English as if I'm chatting with ChatGPT. So that's where the prompt engineering happens. So I'm just telling design a CrossFit workout optimized for this athlete. So the macros he consumed so far are the calories, but then I'm not going to manually type in each time. It is going to reference to the global variable. So the calories in is actually what we extracted from MyFitnessPal. Likewise, the protein, fats, all those information, even the data that we collected from Whoop, will be automatically parsed when I trigger this function. And I'm also asking ChatGPT to provide me an output in JSON format so that I can show this on a web page or something. So let's try and trigger this, and I'll keep my fingers crossed to see if this goes well. Okay, so I have triggered ChatGPT. You can see that once the message is parsed, you can actually see the raw numbers here, right? Sorry. And ChatGPT has also responded with the custom workout based on the information that I passed on to it, right? So I told ChatGPT to give me a CrossFit workout for an athlete who have consumed whatever calories, whatever protein, and how long he slept, what kind of recovery score he had. And ChatGPT has given me one version of a workout here. And I think if I trigger again, I might get another version. Let's try and do that. So I'm asking ChatGPT again to generate another workout. And you can see now it gave me a different set of workout. I think this is in a different format as well, right? So let's try and see this on a browser. So like I said, I mean, this is in a JSON format and I already created a get method. So let's try and visit that URL and see how this looks like on a browser. Okay, so you can see now, I think it's clear, right? So there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different workouts. Thrusters 8 reps of weight is 30 kg, and then yeah, we have kettlebell, we have running, and we have burpees. Okay, so that's kind of like a POC to show how we can design a personalized digital fitness coach using ChatGPT. If you like it, please share. If you have any questions, leave it in the comment box and I'll be happy to answer. Bye.